Secondly, number
Don't
two.
put it away. Make it closer to you.
Number two, this idea of people not trying to take care of aged parents as a modern
Disease.
problem is also open to doubt. It's a modern problem, all right, I would agree, but not a problem which is new. In fact, when I did the study of Sati nearly 40 years ago, even in it you will find hints that one of the main motivating factors behind Sati was that it allowed you to kill off the elderly, because in Bengali, the Aibhava system, the women had a stake in property. So it is what empowered the women also posed a threat to women. So this was, so Vrindavan at that time was an escape from the funeral pyre. Also, and now it is escape from unthinking children and grandchildren. ये problem है. This probably the most typical and I would say prototypical actually literary work on this issue is Sandhya Chhaya in Marathi, this play. Sandhya Chhaya was written before Indian NRIs began to graze in the first world. It was written 40 or 50 years ago, and it is almost prophetic in saying what is the kind of problems the elderly face. So this problem has been there. Politics of joint family, politics of generation has been there, and it would have been very nice. I don't want to do it now, but maybe think of it. Nice if you had tried, instead of looking at the Western old age home in terms of categories derived from Erickson's and stages of life, and the whole psychoanalytic apparatus that comes with you, and the Indian one in terms of the ashramas of life. Ashramas in ground and ashramas of life also is there. You know, that also is there. It would have been fascinating intellectually if you have tried to simultaneously also see how would an Indian life cycle begin to look, old age, Indian old age home, and an Indian ashrama will begin to look if you applied Ericksonian model to India, and if you applied the ashrama model in the context of a Western old age home. It would have been a fascinating. There will obviously be limits, because both these systems, both these knowledge systems, claim universality. Erickson doesn't say that his theory is applicable only to the Western individual, and the ashrama theory doesn't presume that it applies only to this territorial entity called India, or Vrindavan for that matter. So that would have been a different way of seeing the limits of the theory and bringing your anthropological position into a kind of a challenge from within. It would have been a very interesting play. And one last comment. First of all, I have a feeling that the ashrama thing is a much more ambitious thing in some way, philosophically speaking. You know, it gives you another entry into life, almost promises you another entry into life in a different way. Whereas in the West, this function has been more fragmented. For example, in addition to an old age home, if you had studied a hospice, you would have found many of the characteristics you were mentioning as typically Indian features were also there, but the function has been split. Old age home is not supposed to provide you that kind of fasting into Ekadasi, but a hospice, particularly if it's run by a church, will provide that. Will provide that. You know. So that's there is indeed, I will also say that if you go to some of the older old age homes, which were not seen in too functional terms, but as a genuine need of a community, you will find elements of the hospice, elements of the ashram there. Like if you go, for example, in Bombay, to a Parsi old age home, it is qualitatively different from the standard old age home you are likely to encounter, because it has been given a new meaning by the community. It has a different kind of status. It is located in a worldview, in a community, and in a network of social relationships. Okay, thank you very much. This was lovely paper, and I hope.
Thank you.